Good morning. So I wanted to speak about Gnosticism, and Gnosticism is has some new disciples, obviously. Like one is Morg on Facebook, and Gnosticism is not not really a religion. It's more several systems of thought. So Gnosticism in, uh, comes from the Greek word gnostikos, which means having knowledge, and it was banned in the first or second century. Um, John the Baptist, John the Apostle John wrote that many people are drawn away from real Christianity, from this sect of Gnosticism. And Gnosticism basically what they say is that everything is God, everything is mind, and the material world is just an illusion, like in Hinduism, where where they say that um, reality is Maya. That's the word in Hinduism for the world, and Maya literally means illusion. Excuse me. So Maya literally means illusion, and there are many sects of Gnosticism, and they were eradicated in the 3rd century, I think, and many of the texts were burned. And basically what they believed was that Christ was just aware of the divinity in himself, and everybody can do that, and you don't need a priest. So they are they are not needed to have a relationship with God, because God is everything. So God is also in me, which to a certain extent may be true, but from experience, Christians know that when you awaken to Christ, that you are not God. That is just ridiculous to think that I am God. And the Gnostics thought that if you have enough knowledge, gnosis, you become more powerful than the evil god Yaldabaoth. And Yaldabaoth is the name of the Gnostics for God, and basically it's a curse word, it's a swear word against the Creator God, and they say that the so-called Creator God Yaldabaoth is just an illusion. He created humanity and he was just one soul, like we have one soul. He was just one soul, and he created everything, and he trapped humans in the body. But humans in reality are monads or souls, which are just as powerful as the evil god Yaldabaoth. So that's what they believe basically, and there are many sects of Gnosticism, And for example, there is one sect that's called Setianism. So where have you heard the word Seth before? It comes from Egypt. The god Set or Seth was the god of darkness, of literal darkness, of the sunset. That's where the word sunset comes from, allegedly, from the god Set or Seth. So there was a sect of Gnosticism. Excuse me. There was a sect of Gnosticism that was called Sethianism, and they had the belief that Seth was the real creator, and Yaldabaoth was just the evil monad. So Seth, they also believed that Seth is the third son of Adam and Eve, and yeah, so it's pretty insane. So they believe basically that the universe begins with zero, nothing, nothingness. So absolute nothingness. That was the beginning of the universe. And nothingness nothingness spread into -1 plus +1. So nothingness spread into -1 plus +1, and as long as there is a minus for a plus, there is 0, and the universe still is 0. So basically everything is an illusion. And as far as I know, that's also a concept in what Helena Blavatsky taught in in The Secret Doctrine. The Secret Doctrine, I'm not sure, book 1 or book 2, I think that she had the same basic concept. So that all comes from Gnosticism. So everything begins with 0, and the 0 turns into +1 and -1. And as long as you have a minus for a plus, you have 0 again, and you can do that until infinity. You can do that as often as you like. You can do that like 100 times. Minus 100 plus 100 is still 0. So you can do that until infinity. That's what the Gnostics thought. That was the most holy mathematical concept of Gnosticism. But that's basically the esoteric mathematical explanation for everything is 0 in the end. And it makes sense if you living in the intellect. It makes sense. It makes great sense. It's really something that you can get very lost in. But if you awaken to Christ, you know that the authority lies with Him. not with me. That's like saying that I'm the king of Persia, because he is just a human being and I am just a human being, so he's the same as me basically, so I am the king of Persia. So that doesn't make any sense, because I'm not even living in Persia. I never was there. I don't know if there is a king in Persia. So it's just it's a nice idea, and it sounds very captivating, but it's just esoteric nonsense. Excuse me. And so that's in Gnosticism. There are many sects, and there is one new sect that's called Hyperianism. So and I've already talked about the guy that spreads Hyperianism. So that's Hyperianism. I don't know if you can see that. And the guy that talks about that is completely convinced of that concept. So that tells me that he's living in the intellect, and he's just trying to figure out the world with the intellect. But that's not possible. The intellect is like a hedge maze. You are running in circles if you are living in the head, in the brain, in the ego, in the intellect. If you live there and only there, then only things like mathematics makes sense to you. But if Jesus Christ himself reveals himself to you, you know that the authority lies with him, because he is a king, maybe even a king of kings, and you are a little nothing next to him, and you know that he could end your life like that, or he could prolong your life with one word, and you're standing there in the presence of holiness, and you think and you feel like a dirty little nothing next to Jesus. He is a king, and there is no doubt about that. So so much to Gnosticism. Gnosticism was then banned from the church, and many early Christians were drawn away to this sect of Gnostics, and they all died like human beings die, and they did not find a divinity, obviously, because if they had found it, they would still be alive and still be around, wouldn't they? And also Aleister Crowley died in 1944, so he didn't even see the end of World War II. I think he was very much in favor of war, and yeah, so you can be so deceived in your spiritual beliefs. I already said that. It's very easy to be drawn away by things like that, and he says he has a new, basically his religion. I think he has like, I don't know, 10,000 followers, or maybe, I don't know, 15,000 followers or something on Facebook. and he says that his religion is only based on mathematics, so it's the ultimate truth. But the problem with that is that if that is true, that means that all of creation, all the trees, the mountains, the Himalayas, the birds, the bees, uh, the beautiful flowers, all that has been created by one soul, like my soul. That's not realistic. It must have been a way bigger creator to create such a huge creation. And the world, the physical world, is not an illusion. It can be illusory if you meditate like a maniac and open yourself up to the spirit world. Then it can become illusory, and you begin to see into the spirit realm and experience synchronicities, and that can be very unsettling. That can be very terrifying, even if you open yourself up to that spirit realm. So yeah, it can be terrifying to do that, and it's not a good idea to do that. It's a very, very stupid idea. And this world is real. The material world is real. It's very easy to prove that. Oh, it hurts. It really hurts. So it's very easy to prove that this world is real. Because if I punch myself in the face, it hurts. So it must be real. There are very much more advanced occult theories than this little stupid one with 15,000 followers. There are way more advanced occultists who know a lot more than this guy, and who are way more serious. And like, one of them is, I think, 69 or whatever, or maybe, yeah, I think he's 67, 69. He looks like 45. So this guy, I think he worked for MI5 or MI6. His also his friend Duncan had an invitation for immediately when they made the videos on YouTube. Immediately he got an invitation to a job interview. So he showed the piece of paper where they invited him for a job interview, MI5. So these people were like real no-nonsense Luciferians, and this guy was a treasure trove of occult information. He could talk for hours, just about astral projection, which many people know a little bit about, but they do it really without knowing a lot what they are doing. These people just do it without really knowing what that means. Also, there are two ways of astral projection, which many people do not know. So my niece is screaming around just for fun. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Yeah, there are two ways of astral projection. One is called biomass projection. One is called astral projection. There was a huge amount of research into occultism from Russia, which was all made public, and there even is a public book by a man called Schrödinger, who made this book, who wrote this book about all the Russian research about paranormal things, and it's huge, and they invested like, I don't know, 60 million dollars or something in this research, and yeah. So all these people who scream around, I know this, I know that, I know everything about Gnosticism, and this is the truth, and blah 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 blah. This has all happened before. There's nothing new under the sun. Just like the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun. So again, there are people screaming, I know the truth, I know the truth. I am the Christ, because everything is Christ consciousness. So I have Christ consciousness, so basically I am the Christ. And the Bible says in the latter days, many people will say, I am the Christ, and stay away from them. So that's my take on this guy called Morg, which is a pretty uplifting name, and he's also a binary person. So is it called binary? I don't know, gender binary or whatever. So he's wearing dresses and lipstick, and he has long hair, but he looks like a guy. He really looks like a dude, really like just a guy, and he has long hair, red lipstick, and um, a a dress, uh, a gown, a real dress, and yeah. So don't fall for that. Gnosticism has been banned by the church, not for nothing, not because they have been right. It has been banned by the church because it draws people away from real Christianity, which is based on reason and logic, and there's also this belief in that the church is just a control mechanism against the public, and the church has been just invented to enslave the public, and that's not true. It's true that there's a lot of corruption and so on in the church, but that's just not true that the church is there to control people. That's a false belief. the church it has a lot of problems these days, but it's not really really rise, because it has all been prophesied in the Bible that in the end days this will happen. The church will fall away from its real purpose, and it will be a huge corruption in the church, and that has all been prophesied, and one prophecy after another is fulfilled. If you follow the prophecies in the Bible, I think we are way down in Revelation. So anyway, so don't fall for all these things. And by the way, uh, theories like that really draw people away, because it sounds very how shall I say that, reasonable. It sounds very, very reasonable. So yeah, so thank you for listening, and have a great day.